Yo, you ready to figure out Protoss together?
Yes, it's very it's really a pain in the ass right now.
So say we both, my friend. But there's hope. I've
Yeah,
been able to pull my win rate up a lot on this current patch. It is tricky, but it's doable.
yes,
I have 5 replays from you.
yes. Um, so maybe, as I had told you in the email, maybe we can skip the first or the second. I don't know, but uh,
Sure, sure.
we can review all if you want, if we have time.
Well, these first few are pretty short. They're like 6 minutes, one of them,
Yes,
9 minutes.
yes.
Cool. Yeah, we can probably get through all of these in an hour, to be honest.
Okay, okay. So let's do it.
Are you on EU or NA server?
EU.
Okay, I can swap over there. Not too hard to do. Okay. Copy. All right. I need to copy these to the EU. Easy peasy, new folder, bookworm. Boom and paste. Cool. Okay. So now they should show up. Got them. And I'm inviting you from channel Neuro. Sweet. Let's get our thinking caps on. Welcome, chat, tuning in. We're just beginning the stream today with some lovely Zerg coaching. Bookworm is looking to master ZvP, as are we all. Okay. So the new patch changed a few key things about Protoss. There's no battery overcharge to give a ton of shields, but their batteries do normally give slow shields, so they still have that defensive tool. But oracles are more of a pain in the ass, and so are storms, because they have a lot more.
At my level, oracles are not really a problem because they seldomly use them.
Mm-hmm.
So I make maybe one or two max are coming, and I make spores, and I'm safe with it because they don't really micro them a lot.
Yeah, and spores did get a damage buff. They do more damage per second than they used to, so it's actually harder for oracles to get harass done without dying. So that's a plus for us. Opening build looks good so far. For this map, you can send your first overlord all the way to this pedestal if you want to, before a stalker kills it,
Okay.
and you can
There
watch
are
one of the
some
gases.
maps where I don't know where to put it because there's no high ground,
Yes.
or I didn't find it.
Yeah, some of them it's a weird spot where you don't really get a pedestal, but you can still peek from some location.
Okay.
And for this map, yeah, you're doing this expansion pattern. Let's go. Braves are expanding forward and down.
Yeah.
Inject main, creep natural. I like your opening build. You droning. Nice.
Yeah, let's keep on the natural. That's what you told me last time. So I'm doing it now.
Yeah, it's great.
It's very useful, especially against adepts if they
Mm-hmm.
are adepts.
Yeah, it's really good against adepts, and the other benefit of creeping the natural instead of injecting is you don't really have the money to make constant queens and spend that much larva at the beginning anyway. You have to kind of pick and
Yeah.
choose. Either you make constant queens or you spend it into drones. So if you get a creep tumor, then you're generating value with map control and vision. Wow, even getting the queen at the third. Wow. Got your second gas. Get your lair.
Yeah, maybe the layer is a bit late too. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's okay. It's not always perfect. Okay, let's think about when to make 10 lings, because you can actually use that as an aggressive tool. Wow, look at this ling spread. Great vision.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, let's see when ling speed is finishing, what our decision is here. Because I like the ling spread, but 2 adepts is still a problem that can occur.
Yeah.
So your ling speed is finishing. You currently have 4 lings. You did see a stalker in the wall. It makes sense to not go up to 8 if you see the stalker.
Yeah. They don't always come with adepts. It's very, I don't know, chaotic. The game at my level, because sometimes there are 2 adepts, sometimes none, sometimes a zealot. So
well, your spending is great. I think just when ling speed is going to finish, I'll start typing notes here. ZvP, we are learning together, chat. When ling speed finishes, get up to 8 lings, stay safe versus adept, and scout their wall or third base. Cool. That would let you know what's happening with the adepts. I'll just also put a note here, get lair at 4:15 to 4:30. That just gets your tempo moving for roach speed. Speed roaches are the first big threat for Protoss, for an army that you could send at them that could kill them. This third gas you're taking is a bit early.
okay.
You want more minerals right now, just to kind of list off the next investments that you need. You need 4 more queens. Those are all minerals. You need an Evo chamber, all minerals. You need a 4th base, that's all minerals. And you need 1 spore per base, which is all minerals. So you don't really need to take the other gases until you get above like 55 drones.
Usually, I don't play with many queens. Maybe 1 in each hatchery and 1 to spread creep, because I'm not used to playing with many queens. Maybe I have to change that. I don't know.
I think it's good just for general base defense, whether they go Void Ray or Oracle or even Adepts. Just having queens in the mineral line, it gives the Adepts something that they have to shoot at without microing, so they're really, really good. And also, it gives you the wiggle room in case you lose a queen or 2, you still have enough to inject your bases. Because if you have 3 and they kill 1 of them, then your whole production is sabotaged. But you're still ahead in this game. Gold 4th base, let's go. Get your spores at 4:15 at the latest. Putting this.
Okay.
If they go DTs, you would be dead. And making 3 spores is not going to be make or break for your eco. It doesn't hurt your eco that much. You can usually afford it. Oh, they're expanding forward. Got your Roach Warren. While your army is idling, it's nice to break these rocks.
Okay.
Just while you're getting your 4th base up. Great saturation of the main and the natural. Roach speed is cooking. Getting both attack upgrades. Both Folges are cooking. And there's a Robo. Robo for them. Nice Overlord swell.
Yeah. I went back because I saw you had Void Rays, and this mixed army composition is really a problem for me.
Yeah, this army that they're making is actually Poopy Garbage versus Roach Ravager. It's a little bit counterintuitive because you think, oh, the Void Rays counted the Roach Ravager. They do, but it takes them a very long amount of time. And if you just look at their army, everything else they have, except for the 2 Immortals, is beaten by Roach Ravager. The Sentries, they have 4 of them. Ravagers can just break those easily. Stalkers don't trade the best against Roach Ravager. Zealots don't trade the best against it. And they have, what, an Adept in there as well. Just a 170 supply of Roach Ravager can really trade effectively with this. Corrosive Bile on the Void Race is really dangerous. They have to micro their stuff.
because that's why I'm making a high risk then, because I was afraid of the void race. Even if there are only two.
Look at this fight. Nice. Nice.
And now he has 4 void race.
And then anytime you take a trade like this, you already did good work. You traded down a lot of the Protoss army. As soon as your front line dies, you retreat. This was a good fight. You can take a partial trade, not a full trade. So say once your front line of Roachling dies, fall back with your Ravagers or Hydras for the next fight.
Here he keeps making void race. Is it okay to have a Spire or more high risk?
Spire is okay. Corruptors are technically countered by Void Rays. And they only have 4 right now, so they're not really committing fully to air. Okay. This is a mostly ground army with some Void Rays on top. And this is actually the kind of style where a queen push would be very strong. Just because your creep spread is already here. That if you had, say, 8 queens with your push, you would have just won the game there. So that's a really common thing that I'll do, is I'll just send 8 queens, maybe an overlord to drop creep and stuff, and then fight that. Looks like you're trying to you're trying to focus fire the voids.
Yes.
Cool. Same.
So yes.
Micro notes
I
here.
stop there because
you actually don't need to target fire them. Hydras trade well against all of their army units that are here. Just attack moving into it, whatever it is. They're just good DPS, and they automatically will try to favor attacking the air without you clicking them. Air units are higher prio than ground if they're within range. So just let the Roach Hydra A move and just make sure you back up if there's any danger. That's kind of your mindset with Roach Hydra, is you put it into the fight, and then any part of the fight that is not successful, you just back it up. But you don't usually need to chase units or dive units unless it's like a warp prism and you're trying to get that before the warp goes off. But I think let's go back to this main Roach Ravager fight, because this is a very winnable game at this point. You have a big supply lead, your Roachling Ravager goes in, you trade reasonably well. Let's see, where is your Hydra Den? Okay, it's done now. So as this fight is going, you're producing 5 Hydras and 6 Lings. So we're fighting this. I think the Lings went hold position, which we don't really want to do. That's fine. Okay, so your Roach line is going away. I would retreat about now and just fall back, and then try to take your next fight defensively here on creep. You took a fight off creep at the edge to try to defend and just fight where you stood, which is very valiant, but it's wiser to just fall back and force them to go into your territory now. There's a very classic move that I had used against me in ZvZ, and the way that they would do it is they would have roaches, and they would take a fight on my side of the map that was kind of bad, where I would be like, oh wow, I beat this fight. Now I'm going to go run across the map and attack them, just like this Protoss did. They win this fight defensively, they have their Void Rays. You can't kill the Void Rays, so they're like, great, I'm going to warp in units, and once the stuff is done, I'm going to go shove. You can manipulate opponents this way and say, okay, I'm going to try to trade out some of my supply, like 40 of my supply, and then make them come take a fight back here, like way back there. And then if things get bad, you could even fall back right here and use that hatchery for some HP, so they're trying to kill your hatchery and stuff while your Hydras are still coming out. Because you do have a pretty good army, you have pretty good upgrades, you have 1-1 for your attack. So here, just patience, you actually are going to be fine still. You have good vision of the 4th base locations here and here. So your opponent's falling behind. Every second that they don't kill you, if you're cooking on a gold base, they're falling behind. So this is a good game. Your Ling Roach Ravager push was fine. Making Hydras through the push was great. You just needed to pull back a little bit sooner from the fight, as soon as your front line died, and then take a fight that's deeper in your territory. Really use your creep against them.
But when he has 3 shield batteries, maybe I should have avoided to fight here. among the shield batteries now.
Not necessarily. You can just use
No?
all of your Ravager's biles to kill one every time you have a cooldown.
Okay.
So as soon as you walk in, just corrosive bile down one battery, and then once it resets, corrosive bile down the other battery, and that's a pretty good fight for you. Yeah. We can go into the second one, see what's up. I would advise like 3 to 4 more queens just to kind of sit around in your base. You don't necessarily need to creep all over the map with them. You can, and that's what you're supposed to do, but just to start, like having a few extra ones at your forward base would mean that you can defend Void Rays better, and if they shade adepts at you, you can do better.
So I put them in a separate control group.
Yes. What are your current control groups that you use?
One hatchery, and 2 and 3 armies.
Okay.
2 the main army, and 3 when I want to do a run by somewhere, or when I have a Mutalisk. I put them on 3.
What are you doing with 4?
Nothing.
Okay, congratulations, that's your queen group. Nice. So every game that you put some queens on 4 is a win in my book. I think you can quit out and we'll get the next one. Right. We are learning how to defeat the Protoss. Round 2. Ooh, different map, nice. Frostline.
The problem I have with Protoss is I don't know when to drone on or when to make army. With Terran, I always have a kind of a sense of it when you will attack, but with Protoss it's always blurry. I don't really know if he's doing an all-in or not, or yeah.
Well, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is you've just discovered the essence of the matchup on an intimate level. The bad news is it still requires a lot of work to figure out how much you can drone every game. But the safer bet is to drone harder and just to risk it and then see what happens, because so many Protoss at your level won't be able to punish it. Like that last Protoss you faced, all they did was send 2 adepts at you and then sit at home. So many Protoss secretly want to just sit at home and just max out at 200 supply with very expensive strong units. That's what they want. To go for an all-in and attack someone is something that definitely does happen, and there are players who do that every game, but I would be curious to see kind of at your bracket how many times they actually go for a committed all-in versus just send a couple units and then sit on their third base.
Yeah.
Opening build looks good. Cybercore. Cool. So this map, you have a pedestal right here on the left side of the wall.
Oh, they can see me on this one, because I always get the feeling that they can see me here. That's why I put the overlord in front of the base.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep, you can use that high ground. Pretty nice for seeing the wall. Droning up. Lots of drones. Cool, they're going Twilight and Robo. This could be aggressive ground. They're really chronoing the Warp Gate research, jeez. It's like 2 chrono boosts into it. Just to point out this Protoss player's approach and how it kind of falls short of GM play. Protoss is supposed to be using all their chrono as they get it. So just getting their probes out faster. They should have closer to 36 probes right now instead of 33. Very, very common mistake for Protoss, even into Masters and GM, is they just don't spend that purple bar. It's very upsetting. Use your chrono. It's kind of like Zerg not injecting, just staring at the base. Okay, you're getting your lair. Nice time. Got some wings. Nice catch of the adepts. Cool. Third base is up and running. Man, your Ling spread. Your Ling spread is like masters to GM level. Big credit there.
I like to have vision because I was surprised so many times. So now I'm spreading all the links where I can.
Mm-hmm. What I would recommend, if they're staying on 2 bases, is to stay at like 50 to 60 drones. Maybe you don't take your gases at the 3rd.
Okay.
Drone counts to be safe. All right. If, I'm just writing out a few different example cases. If they go Zealot all in with 30 probes, you go for 38 drones of Queen, Roach, Ling. Oh, I'm actually going to say Zealot or Adept all in with 30 probes. We go to 38 drones. You could have 40 to 42. I guess I'll just say 38 to 42 drones of Queen, Roach, Ling. If they go 2 base all in with 36 to 44 probes, you want to go to 50 to 55 drones. Queen, Roach, Ling. If they take a 3rd base, go to 66 to 70 drones. Cool. This has been writ for you. Looks like they're going to hit you with a late 2 base all in. Mm-hmm.
For the gas in the main. There's one gas with no drones.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. Just a silly mistake, no problem. Man, the Ling spread and the Overlord spread.
Yeah.
It's so funny when you... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying it's so funny whenever you coach somebody and they're in the metal leagues kind of working their way up, but if you point to one of their fundamentals, it's like so far above their level. Like no one does this. I struggle to do this sometimes. Just seeing the completeness of information of you know exactly how many bases they have, that's such a step that's missed so often, but it's so Zerg because we can put half of a supply and 25 minerals to know if there's a base. That's very cheap. So it's cheaper for Zerg than it is for Terran or Protoss to have this information. So for you to have that habit, keep doing that always. The main one, I think, to counterbalance would be just having a queen group that spreads creep. That'll boost the vision on your side of the map, but you kind of compensate for that just by having really good vision on their side of the map. So it's not even the hugest deal to not have creep queens this game. Okay. So you see their army here. They have Archon, 3 of them, 2 Immortals, and a bunch of Zealots. Remember that you don't need to take the fight until they really threaten your drones, so you can always fall back and you have some choices about where to fight. The thing that is kind of missing here, as you pointed out, is your gas wasn't filled in the main, so you would have probably a few Ravagers here.
But here, I was trying to focus the Immortal.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have done that. And that's maybe...
Yeah, the micro against any army that has Zealots in it is more so an attack, retreat plan. You don't really care about the 2 Immortals in the back. You want to shave off the Zealots. That's how I would think about this. So your Roaches, you can fall back all the way to your main if you have to. So what I would do is just run up to the Zealots, attack them with a full volley so all the Roaches shoot, and then back up to your natural. And then whenever your Roaches can fire again, shoot them again, and keep repeating that step.
Okay.
Would you like to practice that real quick? I can take the Protoss and you can practice doing that.
Yeah.
Cool.
So here, the other problem, and this is the replay I didn't want to show you because I know also the mistake I made. It's because when I was fighting and targeting the immortals, I didn't produce any army. And if you continue the replay, I had maybe 13 larvas and really a lot of money in the bank.
Yep, so I'll back it up a little bit, and you can do both of those things. Just produce units through the fight, and then attack, and then back up, and then attack and back up with your roaches. So I will give you Bookworm, and I will be the Protoss Angelis. Are you ready? Okay, I'm a big scary Protoss about to attack you. I'm a Protoss. Shooting back up, shooting back up. Good job.
Okay.
Way easier. Just shave off the zealots and back up. That's your general plan against basically any Protoss ground army when you have Roach Ravager. Roach Ravager is super good at attack back up because you can Corrosive Bile, and that puts them at a decision of do they run forward through it and endanger themselves, or do they back up from the Corrosive Bile?
Okay.
I'm typing a note of this. We have the Protoss 3 here. Okay. This is in the micro notes. Roach-based armies want to shoot and back up versus zealot armies until the zealots are dead. No need to dive and stay versus melee units. Have you ever played Dota or anything like that?
No, I tried Heroes of the Storm when it came out, but since no.
The reason I ask is the fundamental difference between a melee hero and a ranged hero is the ranged hero can start fighting from further away, and then they can back up and create a new fight where they're still further away. And that's a really distinct advantage that roaches and hydras have over zealots. So anytime you see like more than 4 zealots in the army, you can think about taking a few attack, volley, and then retreat steps until the zealots are dead, and then you have a huge advantage in the fight. Shoot back up, shoot back up. Nice map variety. We've had a different map each time. This map, you actually have an easy pedestal. Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the new maps. And the old one they added.
Abyssal Reef. King's Cove as well. They brought 2 old ones back. This map really tilted me at first because the center is completely enclosed in rocks.
Yeah.
It's not too bad though. Any map that gives Zerg an option for a gold 4th base is pretty annoying for Protoss and Terran. So this base here, I'll usually, if my army is bored and not doing anything while I have my 3 bases, they'll just attack those rocks. So I'll take that as my 4th. Got your creep tumor going, nice. Ling speed is cooking.
Yeah, I'm always careful on this map with Terrans because they can tanks and stuff in the middle.
Yep. It's very annoying. You can just put 2 tanks up there and then start pressuring your stuff with Marines. It's super strong. Okay. Man, the Protoss at your level really love chronoing Warp Gate. But why? They're almost chronoing it too early. They have a Nexus full of energy. Oh my god. Spend that. 415 spores every game. Put this in bold for you. Full 15
Yeah,
spores.
sometimes I forget the spores and it's a problem.
That's okay.
Either because there's oracles or DTs.
Mm-hmm. Now this is a real all-in.
Yeah, I was trying to focus the prism with my queens.
Uh-huh.
But there was too many levels here.
Mm-hmm. So let's see if we had the correct drone count. You have the lings at the outer bases, which is good. You have 49 workers, so technically this is a defensible attack. This one in particular is one of the ones that I mentioned in the notes of if they have like 30 to 36 workers, you probably want to stop at about 50 workers, so you're just there. If you made any more drones, you're probably dead. The way that you would think about this scenario specifically is because you have this third base that your queens are next to right now, you don't even need to keep this to win the game. It's a little bit counterintuitive because you would think, well, it's a really important base for me. It's my third base. But the Protoss didn't take shit back at home. They don't have any gases. Yeah. They're not making any probes. And they even full walled their natural here, so they can't take a third base. They're really stuck. This attack has to work. So if they don't kill you, they lose the game. And that means that the most precious thing for you is actually your army clump. And you want to make sure your clump of army doesn't die. You would rather give up a base than give up your army clump. And it's tough. It's really tough because it feels bad to lose a base, and that's a tough decision to make. So I'll say when to give up a base. If Protoss is going all in with Zealots and you have an alternate third base, feel free to give up your third while massing roaches and setting up elsewhere. You can even pull your drones away if you really want to be try-hard about it. Like all those drones that you have, you could just send them to the natural and be like, hey guys, it's not safe here. You can mine at the natural. It won't be as efficient for you, but you'll survive. And then later on, you could transfer them to this other base. This attack that they're doing is one of the best in the game. Naniwa did this many years ago, a Protoss player from Sweden. But he really popularized adding 1 or 2 immortals to a push like this, just to give them a lot more power to punch through roaches. So the key thing versus this push is kind of the same shave down the Zealots idea, where you want to shoot back up all the way to your ramp into the main. Because if you can get to this ramp, Zealots are pretty bad because they can only attack you about 3 at a time, where they have, how many right now? They have like 15 Zealots coming out, so it's going to be a whole bunch. And you can bring them down to a narrow choke. So this fight here, we don't actually need to take. It feels like we do, but we don't really, because they're really all in. Cool. Yeah, we want to make...
yeah, I had no more larva, so it was over.
Would you like to practice the response that I talked about, where you shoot and fall back and give it the base? Cool. So I'll back it up a little bit. Okay, and then I'll go to when they're morphing stuff in. All right. I will be the foul barcode all-inner, and you will be bookworm. Are you ready? So the plan is you're fighting this stuff and backing up. You're pulling your drones away to a safer base, and you're delaying the fight here, kind of using your third base to buy you time. And your thought process here is, I want to get my gas bank all into roaches if I can, and just get as many roaches as I can, and I want to fall back to a narrow choke. Sound good? Okay. I am Scary Protoss. So dangerous. Where's the warp button? Oh, shit. Shit. There we go. Get you. Scary Protoss.
Okay.
Good job. Shoot, fall back, give up the third. You don't need that third for shit.
Yeah.
You're so ahead.
Okay.
The third base is a shield. A hatchery is a shield that has 1,500 health, and it has 1 armor.
Yeah.
Wow, did you get a replay of almost every map? That's great. Unique map every time.
Yeah. I think this one is the proxy to gates with the stalkers.
Mm.
Yeah. I kind of had the feeling, because I didn't see the proxy, because I had the feeling that he was making many stalkers, but I thought he was doing this as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought he was kind of rushing me.
Mm-hmm.
I already had the feeling there was something strange.
Yeah. Walling off at the high ground there is pretty strange. That almost never happens, so... Something is up for sure. Wow, it's an old school 4-gate. Jeez. Do you know why 4-gate is no longer a build that Protoss go for all the time?
No.
It's because they nerfed the research time to take a lot longer than it used to. It used to be done way sooner. So you could just 4-gate every game and always have a pretty good chance to win. But nowadays it's kind of bad. But it's confusing because you can't always read what they're doing or know how much to drone. You did get a scout with your Ling. So I can tell you're kind of unsure. Can I take a third base?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
From
so
now on, I saw the stalkers, so...
yeah, and they're gonna get your overlords too. So,
Yeah.
in response to this, you kind of want to make just 2 overlords to try to get unsupply blocked. And this is one of the rare cases where you have to make a spine. Just because you don't have the supply to make roaches or lings. And you don't have gas, so roaches aren't really something you can use for your first wave of attack. This is a very unique situation. Protoss don't normally go for this. So let's say drone counts to be safe. I didn't even include this because I didn't think people would still go for a 1 base all in. Nevertheless, if they go 1 base, 4-gate, or similar, you want to have 27 to 30 drones of Queen Ling Spine with a roach follow-up. The reason you have Queen Ling Spine is because it hits so early. This is 4 minutes in. I think you forgot to refill the gas, but even if you did, you wouldn't have very much gas to make that many roaches. So your response would mostly be queens and lings. And the difference here is you need every unit that you have to defend. This queen in the main, she needs to join that 4 group. with the queen at the natural. They need to be a team, and you'll make another queen in the main. So you're in the mindset of, I'm pumping queens as fast as I can because they're going to die, and I need them to fight, and I need new queens to continue the fight.
Should I cancel the second gas and the road warren?
Yes. Those aren't going to be a factor here. There's just not enough time. They're already attacking you now. And then just generally, as a precaution, 330 Roach Warren if you're unsure of what they're doing. So I put 8 lings once your speed is done. 330, get a Roach Warren if you sense aggression. I would say a normal Roach Warren timing is like 350-ish to 4 minutes. That's pretty normal. So this one is a touch late. If you have it at 330, you'd be able to start making roaches earlier against this. But then just making queens from all your bases and fighting with all the queens. Queens trade okay against stalkers, if you have a similar number of stuff. Yeah, so the 900 minerals we have, that would be 2 more queens that we're making, and these queens that we inject with, they always rejoin the army. So I'll call this the crisis management production procedure. Crisis management versus big attack. Queens made from all bases. When a queen is born, she injects, then joins group 4 to help defend. Constant queen production. Gas into roach. Extra mins into lings. And then make 1 to 2 spines between nat and third. That's a really good mineral expenditure in a situation like this where you're up against the ropes and they're all in against you. Just plopping down 2 spines right here. And that gives you a nice retreat point where you can fall back to those spines, and if you take a fight next to them, the Protoss takes a bad trade. So the third base, again here, is a shield for you. You don't need to defend this. You could expand somewhere else. The most important thing is to get your big clump of army and keep that alive. Got your macro hatch coming? Cool. Now you're making a spine.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the idea. Well, it's good to know how to fight this. I would guess this is pretty rare. They get some extra metagame value because their name is Relax, and they're going for a 1 base all in. Relax, don't worry about it.
This is the first time I encountered this proxy.
Mm-hmm.
I guess too many stalkers here, so
yeah, we're dead here.
I don't have enough lava.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, we know how to beat this now. We need a little bit crispier Roach Warren timing, but then having the queens all together at the front will help a lot. And then don't try to defend the third base if it's not safe to do so. You can always skip that up.
Yeah, we need to get the habit of making more queens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. More queen production. Hell yeah, we're making great time. We're going to go through all these. The last one you have is a bit longer of a game.
Yes. The last one, and I told you in the email, it's a Diamond 2 player, Protoss. And I didn't know it, but he did the cannon rush and then Skytos and Zealots next. I tried to defend, but it was really hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm interested in what you have to say on this.
Let's see it. There are a lot of different kinds of cannon rush. We'll see which one this is.
An annoying one.
And then a unique map every time. Great. Yeah, this coaching session I feel like it really illustrates the variety of Protoss styles because every single one is pretty different from the rest. You've got a Zealot all in, you have a passive 3 base, you have a 1 base Stalker all in, and then you have a 2 base Immortal Archon all in. Blocking. So we get this, you see the forge. Okay. Okay. So they're playing full obnoxious here. The thing that I would think about as this is happening is each of these investments that they make, each assimilator, this could have been most of a pylon at home. These 2 assimilators could have been a gateway or a forge, and this money could have also gone toward their nexus. So they're choosing to have a very messy game and to kind of pull you down into the dust and the mud just to make you uncomfortable so you can't do your normal build. But that delays their stuff as well. So they can't go for a crispy warp gate timing. They're delaying all of their units and all of their stuff just to be annoying. So just prioritize getting the pool down ASAP. I wouldn't send drones to attack these. I would just go for more bases.
Okay.
Yep. Because you take a mineral advantage.
Okay, if they take 1 gas, I'm fine with it because I don't need to. But I want a link speed.
Yeah, if you really wanted to like anticipate this and play it better from the start, as soon as the probe is going toward your gas, you would want to try to grab the other one. You can sort of do that reactively.
Yes, but he was blocking it because he was against the gas, and I wasn't able to take it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a bit nasty.
Yeah, this is someone who's definitely done this before.
Yes.
They made 1 cannon at that one. Getting a Roach Warren. Okay, so this will put them a bit ahead, but they delayed all of their tech to do this. And they're distance mining minerals at the natural, which is not very efficient. Get blings on this. Yeah, it's a pretty icky situation here. What I would advise, actually, from your main, would probably just be, because they made so many investments, this is the rare case where you can often nidus them. If they make lots of cannons, they made a pylon at your natural, a cannon at your natural, multiple pylons and cannons at your 3rd base location, there's another pylon out here, and they made 2 assimilators, you can actually 1 base nidus them and kill them in many of these cases. Have you ever tried that?
Later, but maybe the guy has to be used to this because he saw my nidus right away. Yeah, as you said, this is not the first time he's doing this.
Yeah. But yeah, I would take the guarantee here and kill this assimilator with your lings. As soon as these lings are out, you're guaranteed to be able to kill this assimilator and then take your other gas. Your nidus will be much faster if you do this. So just kill the assimilator, take your 2nd gas. As soon as your queen is done, the first 100 goes into lair. Okay, so lair would have been started now. And this map is really good for nidus because of this area being so large. So let's kind of go through this. Your lair would have been going. After lair, you can get ling speed. Make sure you get another extra overlord. And then you make 3 roaches only. So I'll type out this nidus procedure here for you. They definitely went for the style. Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay.
The investment that they made into minerals means that their Void Ray is super late. The unit that they use to defend this kind of stuff would be a Void Ray at a reasonable time. Their Stargate is starting now. So as soon as that first Void Ray is done, it becomes a lot harder to nidus them. But we'll say, for example, When does that unit actually get out? It's 510. So their first void ray comes out at about 540. 545 it's out. Cool. So we can compare that with when the Nidus could have gone up. Your Nidus network is in progress right now. You could have easily Nidus them by this point. It's just a matter of speed. So would you like to practice it? And I will talk you through it.
Okay. Should I have stayed in, on one base? Because I made a second one.
You can still take the second base. I think it's fine to do so because that gives you a plan B in case the Nidus doesn't work. So let's go back to the key moment when your pool is done. Okay, and then you have your links coming out. So you're going to take the gas here. Cool. All right. So your links are going to come out soon. Okay, let me type out the plan here, just so we can reiterate this. Nidus response to heavy cannon harass. So what we want to do is take both gases in main ASAP. First 100 gas into lair, queen after lair completion, plus Nidus network. And then you want 3 roaches, then lings, and then Nidus exit in their main ASAP. Roaches can be morphed to Ravagers if you have the gas. Cool. Alright, so you will use your lings here, kill the assimilator, take the gas, take your lair, and then after your lair is done, get the Nidus network and another queen. Get your 3 roaches, and then try to plant the Nidus because you're very far from the first void ray being out. Part of the distraction of the Protoss here is they distracted your lings at this location and basically wasted their time so that your gas wasn't taken for a long time. So you couldn't afford to get that Nidus really fast. Are you down to try?
Yes.
Okay. I am a fearsome cannoning Protoss. Ooga booga. Well, the plus side is they're very inefficient about their mining.
Yeah, this is bad.
Okay, Cybercore is done, but I don't have gas to make a Stargate yet. Just articulating. Stargate is going. What can you do against my foul cannon style? Ha ha. Ha! Your Zerg forces are doomed. I'm gonna make a void ray soon, and it's gonna be easy peasy. Oh fuck! Oh no. Oh fuck. Okay, first void ray's cooking. You should send queens through. You should have 2 queens attacking me as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Put them on the 4 key. Practice it. My void ray is out soon. Then I will destroy all of your troops and villages. Fuck. Oh. You can even spread creep by putting another Nidus next to the queens if you wanted to. Good job.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we'll say queens, 2 queens into Nidus first to transfuse, then roaches, then I'll say roach ravager, then lings. You put lings in first. The army value would go out faster if you put non-lings in first, because that's kind of the weakest unit per exit cycle. So you go queens first, then roach ravager, then lings. Yep, but if you have the Nidus response very, very fast, like as soon as you realize they're being very annoying, they're delaying multiple of my bases, they've made like 3 or more pylons, they've made 2 to 4 cannons. That's so much random crap that delays their first void ray that if you just get the second gas instantly, you get the lair instantly after your first queen, you make a second queen, you get the 3 roaches, you get the Nidus. It should work a lot of the time. You just have to be very fast, and you can't be too distracted by their cannon rushes. There's a point where you just kind of put your hands up and you're like, okay, I see what kind of game you're playing. You're not going to let me take a normal second base, but you're spending like 800 minerals to do so. So I'm going to punish you with a Nidus in the main now.
Yeah, usually I make the Nidus when the cannon rushes fail. So usually it works, but this time, yes, I was maybe too late.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of the game, I made Hydras, but it was a big mess.
Yeah, you're just too far behind at that point.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So the kind of overall assessment, your vision that you get with your Ling spread is Grandmaster tier already. Good job. The main thing to like expand in your play would be having just a queen group on 4. That's going to help you a lot for dealing with things and having more map presence. And then the main micro thing is this shoot and back up with roaches versus zealots. You're going to trade really well against Protoss armies if you utilize the movement speed and the ranged attack of roaches versus the zealots. And don't be in a hurry to take those fights. If they're really all in, you can give up a third, you can give up a base, just keep your army intact and keep making units. Hell yeah. Well, I will send you the notes here in the email. Any last questions before we wrap?
Nope, not that I think.
Well, hell yeah. Awesome working with you, Master Bookworm.
Okay, thank you very much for your advices.
You're most welcome. I wish you glory in battle, and remember, swarm them!
Yes, I will.
GG! Nice-oo. Is he gonna rap? Yes, he's gonna now do some rap.